Hello everyone, welcome to GoTarryn TV. I'm Tarryn the Traveling Trainer, and momentarily we're going to be having my new co-host Todd Stewart here on GoTarryn TV, and together we're going to be interviewing Ms. Elsie Trawick of Elsie Trawick Wellness, who's also here out of the greater Atlanta area. And I want to invite everyone out there to also please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and while you're watching and listening to today's video blog, if you could please make sure to like the video, leave us a comment, and share it with all of your friends and family. And remember that with GoTarryn Personal Training, it's your time, it's your investment, it's your life. We'll return with Ms. Elsie Trawick. All right, folks, we're back, and as I promised, you could see side by side we have my co-host, Todd Stewart, here. And also in Atlanta, Georgia, you also see Elsie Trawick. Elsie, how have you been?
Hey, I'm doing great. How about you all?
Very good, thank you. And this is the first time I know that you and Todd are meeting face-to-face here on our blog. And,
Yeah.
So, yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Right before we were recording, in fact, Todd was mentioning his reaction to gluten products. So we could just jump right in. And, again, since this is the first time y'all are meeting, for the very first time on GoTarryn TV. Todd, I'll let you start it off and tell us about that, please.
I started noticing making dietary changes, reaction to gluten. I mean, beer, breads, just frankly almost everything, isn't it? So it's very limited.
Oh, wow. So you had did you have any dermatological issues? Do you have an unexplained rash?
Leaky gut.
It was all gut.
Leaky gut. See what that is.
Did you have any brain fog?
Was hard to tell because I also have seizures, so it's hard to tell.
Oh, wow.
So maybe. Yeah.
That is. In other words, the seizures were not related to your diet.
No, not a bit. But
Okay.
I would say, you know what? I would say that because confusion, maybe. Yeah, just brain fog. I like that.
Yeah, because that's really common reaction, and a lot of people don't realize that brain fog is part of a gluten sensitivity and/or a diagnosis of celiac because they don't understand. They chalk it up to other things like I'm tired, I haven't been sleeping well, stress. They think a lot of that may be due to stress. They don't really realize that that is a very common symptom of gluten sensitivity or celiac. And I'm going to describe it this way. I call it brain fog, but my brain gets very sluggish and thick. And now that I've been off gluten for so many years, and when I accidentally gluten myself, it's amazing that it's like, wow. And everything is slow. You're slow to respond. You're not quite clicking. Things don't connect like they normally do. So for all people out there who are listening that this may be a symptom, try eliminating gluten. And gluten is a protein found in wheat, rye, and barley. So anything with those three products, which is flour, beer, malt vinegar, the list goes on, but those are the three big ones. So stay away from wheat flour, rye flour, barley flour, or any products that are made with those ingredients.
Correct.
Interesting. Huh. Wow. How about, let me ask you this, Todd. What about the farmer's market? Are you familiar with that, Elsie? We're at the Family Life Center across the street, the St. Cathedral Phillips. Is that where it's at, Todd? That's the name of the church?
I believe so. It's
an Episcopal church.
Road,
Yeah.
Every Saturday, Peachtree Road Farmers Market, and it is awesome. Local farmers will come in, and I love my fresh produce, especially from local farmers, more organic. If I can find it.
That's a big one. There's several on Saturdays. There's one in the city of Marietta. There's a farmers local market in the city of Decatur.
Oh, wow.
Another Saturday market besides the Cathedral of St. Philip's is at the Jimmy Carter Center. They have a big, and a lot of the vendors at these local farmers markets are the same. They just have a separate stall at each of the markets. So you get a lot of local produce and fruits, vegetables. And by fruits, I mean, especially here grown in Georgia, you're going to get berries. Right now, the blueberries are starting to come in, and peaches. You're not going to find your exotic fruits like pineapples, lemons, oranges, bananas, things like that. Mm-hmm. So you're going to need to, it's all local, but it's great. It's wonderful, especially for people who want to eat healthy. Mm-hmm. I just did a presentation a couple of weeks ago to a group, and it was all about eating healthy and what that means. Because the three main reasons we want to eat a healthy diet is, number one, is food is fuel for our body. What you put in your body is what you're going to get out of it. So if you put good natural fruits, vegetables, lots of vegetables, and healthy meats, and by that I mean all natural and or organic.
Yes.
Don't scrimp on the proteins. Don't scrimp on the good proteins, because you can eat less of it, but pay a little bit more and get the good all natural and organic. So food is fuel, but also food is medicine. You can treat a lot of issues and ailments either that you've been diagnosed with, like hypertension, high cholesterol, high triglycerides. What are some of the other common ones? Weight gain, things like that. You can alleviate that through a healthy diet. It's also, a healthy diet helps prevent things like cancer, high blood pressure, high triglycerides, high cholesterol. Eating a healthy diet. And the third main reason you want to eat a healthy diet is stabilizing your weight. That is huge. Those are the three main reasons. And eating a healthy diet is being mindful and watchful of what you're eating, what you're buying, particularly what you're buying. Because so much of our commercial foods are part of the industrial food complex, which means they're being loaded with chemicals. They're typically GMO seeds. And they're being sprayed with a lot of pesticides that leach into the skin and the vegetable itself. So, and also for your meats and proteins, what the cattle, your beef, what the chickens, your poultry are eating passes through to the meat you buy in the grocery store. So
connected.
Yeah, it's all connected.
Yeah, that's very, very good. Wow. And there's that's really good. Elsie, have you been to that farmer's market that Todd was speaking of over there? You've been to that one? Todd, have you been to the ones that Elsie was just mentioning?
I have not. Maybe Forest Park years ago, and DeKalb farmer's market, but mostly Peachtree because it's next door. And they have it on Wednesday also, but it's indoors.
Yeah, but now one thing you said, the DeKalb farmer's market, the big one, is not the local farmers market. The local is the city of Decatur, and it is on Saturday, and they have one on Wednesday, and they're in the churchyard of the Baptist church there on the corner of Claremont, and I can't think of the cross street right now. But the DeKalb farmers market is a big indoor regular grocery store type market. Now they do specialize in all natural and or organic produce, but most of it comes from California.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. How about, let me ask you this, Elsie, like in your typical grocery stores like Whole Foods and Publix and whatnot, are you impressed with their selection and variety of offerings of gluten-free products?
I am. Whole Foods has got a great gluten-free section.
Okay.
Kroger has a fantastic gluten-free section.
Okay.
Publix is limited. It's the least of the big chains that I like.
Okay.
But there's Whole Foods, Sprouts, Kroger, Aldi's, Ingles. What are some of the other?
Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's. Have big gluten-free sections. The other thing is you can go online with the grocery stores and get a product list, because there are a lot of products that we buy in the grocery store that have always been gluten-free and still are gluten-free. You just need to go. You can go onto the website for your grocery store of your choice, and you can pull up their product list. And they usually have that, and they select out the allergies, like you can find out what are in certain things, like whether it has tree nuts for those with tree nut allergies and things like that. So that's a good resource as well. You can also call the customer service line of the grocery store of your choice and speak with someone either in the corporate office or at your local store. Also, if there are things you don't see at your market that you want them to carry, talk to the store's local manager and request that they stock that item or order it for you.
I like that.
Elsie, that's interesting because I was looking, I made some pasta sauce not long ago, and I froze some, and I was looking for gluten-free organic pasta, and I found gluten-free pasta that was enriched, and I've also read before, avoid anything that's enriched.
Yeah.
And then I found organic pasta, but nothing that was gluten-free. So I'll do what you said, and maybe I'll go I'll Google the product and find that.
Pastas are tricky, and I'll tell you why. A lot of the regular brands now, Muller's has a gluten-free variety.
That's the one I got. I chose that. That's what I chose.
And then there's the Ancient Grains quinoa, gluten-free. They're great. They're fine. I just want you to read the ingredients because a lot of gluten-free pastas use corn.
I have allergies to corn, I heard. Yeah.
So for people who don't want to eat a lot of corn, because corn can spike your blood, it's a starch. Well, pasta's a starch too, but anyway. I like to buy the Lundberg Farms brown rice pasta. Whole Foods carries it, and the DeKalb Farmers Market carries it. You can also order it online. But I like it because it has no corn in it. It's 100% brown rice, and it seems more stable. I don't eat a lot of pasta just for other reasons, but when I have had that, I think it's delicious. And they make the linguine, the spaghetti, the spirals, the little I call them macaroni noodles.
Macaroni.
So and there are several other. Whole Foods does have a good selection of gluten-free pastas. It's a toss whether you really want, when you're buying a pasta, toss up whether you want it organic. Really doesn't, mean anything to me unless you're buying a product that has a lot of corn, because then you want to make sure you're not getting GMO corn in your pasta.
That's another thing, Elsie. Can you tell us a little bit more about GMOs? Because that's another thing that's a hot topic out there as well.
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. Genetically modified organisms. And Monsanto and Dow are loading up our crops. I think they're just trying to control the food, the global food and seed population, which scares me to death.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't like anything with GMO, and people get confused. Genetically modified is not a hybrid.
Okay.
Hybridization is different. Genetically modified means someone's actually taking the seed and doing something to it, modifying the genes of that plant. What I have the biggest problem I have with them is they're loading the seeds with chemicals so that they will be resistant to certain diseases and being sprayed with Roundup, which the World Health Organization has already said Roundup what is it? Help me here. Yes, causes cancer.
Yeah.
Also, you'll find a lot of these pesticides disrupt our hormones. They disrupt our immune system. There's chemicals kill. Why do we want to eat something that's chemically treated? So I'm a big fan of all natural and organic. I'm a big fan of buying local too and shopping local, just because we're eating in season. We're eating to match the season. We're eating local. We're nourishing our bodies with foods that come from the soil we live in, the area we live in. And this is a Another reason, when you think about healthy eating, there's several factors that play into that. Your genetics play into that. Your blood type plays into that. Your lifestyle plays into that. Whether you've chosen to be gluten-free, which is a lifestyle because it affects every aspect of your life. Because what the cosmetics we wear, the lotions, the creams, the soaps we use, that affects our skin. And if we have a gluten sensitivity, a lot of times we might get a rash from things that contain gluten. For women in particular, lipsticks. Think about what cosmetics you're buying, because that all goes on your skin and into your system. Mm-hmm. A couple of other things but when a lot of people don't think about diet being related to their heritage, but it is. It's very much so related to, like, Asians have a much more rice-based diet than Asians, Latin Americans, their diets, and Indians have a lot of rice and greens in them. Whereas someone from Scandinavia, they don't have rice. They have different crops. They're predominantly a fish-based diet too, but they have their differences. And so that's something to consider if you're struggling with trying to find the right diet, because there is no one size fits all. What's right for me, it may not necessarily work for either of you two, because we're all different. Bioindividuality is a huge part of how we manage our health. And we need to start looking at that to be healthy, because that's part of one of the reasons these big, huge industrial farms, they treat everything the same, and we don't need that. We don't need everything kind of dumbed down for us. We need strong, healthy crops. And another thing about this industrial agriculture complex is because they don't rotate crops, they just put pesticides on there, they use chemical fertilizer, the soil is being depleted. And a lot of us suffer with magnesium deficiency because of that. And the magnesium deficiency can lead to serious side effects, which may go undetected. And you may end up being treated for something when all you need to do is take a magnesium supplement. I just read an article on it, and it's huge, the variety of things, ailments, and triggers that a magnesium deficiency can relate to. Can bring forth.
That's incredible, Elsie. I was just thinking that this is something that's really not taught, like, education-wise, like in schools. I don't think that we're not getting the proper, educational foundation in something like this that you just talked about. That's something that they could probably add a course or a curriculum on, I believe.
Well, they're not. And what's really scary is doctors aren't getting this.
That too, yeah, exactly.
Nutrition.
Yeah.
And I think that's one reason the surge in people like me, wellness coaches, is because people are sick and tired of being sick and tired. And no one's looking at it. And a lot of dietitian nutritionists, they will tell you what a healthy diet is, but they don't help you find your individual diet. That's what it takes.
Yeah, they're just really generic. I don't want to, like, bash doctors, but in general, we do find that you go to them and a lot of them are just quick to just, give you a medicine or prescription rather than treat from the source. And they kind of frown upon, at least my experience, a lot of doctors in the medical field just kind of just turn away and say, you don't need those natural supplements. Those don't do anything. Like, you hear that a lot. At least I do. I don't know. Elsie, Todd, you guys.
I hear it all the time.
Yeah.
Because I take, I've been doing the SIBO diet, and so part of the SIBO diet, which SIBO is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth.
Yeah.
So I drink distilled or purified water, which means I'm not getting a lot of essential minerals that are found in regular water. So I've started supplementing my water, and I was having some issues, and that's how I ended up talking to a functional practitioner, functional medical doctor, and determining I had a magnesium deficiency, so I started taking a magnesium supplement. And I started getting some bottled trace minerals from Concentrace to add to my water so that I'm getting those essential minerals in my water and into my diet.
Yeah. And, you know, like, Elsie, back to the whole educational thing about it, I just thought, like, of something. I've got a good idea. We ought to have you come and do a guest speaking lecture at Georgia State University at my class, because Todd actually guest spoke for me last spring. Yeah, at one of my classes. And he talked about the condition with the seizures that he has. And so if we do a nutritional topic about the book, what you were just talking about with us on the blog right now, there's nothing that the book covers in that. So that would be a great supplement to have you come in and do a guest lecture, and I'd love to have you out there at campus right there. That's, again, because I'll be teaching that in the fall over at, I got the Panther right here, Georgia State University. So, yeah, that would be great to have you there, Elsie. Let's set that up for sure and do that. And Todd, you should come for that lecture as well. Both of you. You have your input and your personal information, that your testimonial, Todd, about what you went through with the gluten, intolerance there.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That would be great.
Yeah, that's interesting. And then back to medical field, Elsie. Like, what do you think needs to change with just generally speaking, the broad spectrum of these doctors and physicians? How can they be better enlightened and more educated with being able to team up in a sense and get the information out there?
Well, I actually think that it is changing. I think the universe is changing because of all the information that is coming out about the gut and the link. Our gut is our second brain, and if you think about it, it's probably our primordial brain. It's probably our first brain because it's our enteric system, and it's just the realization how important our gut is to our health keeps the articles keep coming out. It's really evolving, and people are going back to quote unquote old-fashioned medicine, where they actually look at you. The doctor looks at your eyes, looks at your tongue, looks at your skin. And there are quite a few practitioners who are changing over and realizing that a pill does not fix everything. It might treat the symptom, but it's not getting to the root cause of the ailment. And people are starting to ask for that. They're saying, wait a minute, I don't want to take this pill. I want to know what my issue is. What else can I do to heal myself? What else can I do to help myself feel better? And so I think doctors are picking up that cue and realizing that they need to know a little more. Now, saying that, the doctors that are out there, you've just got to find someone you trust and you like. You may have to go to 3 or 4. I'm not, and the one thing I do think about our healthcare in this country is if you've got Ebola, or you've been in a horrible accident, or you've got flesh-eating bacteria, you are in the right place. This is the best medical care for trauma, injuries, exotic diseases. The problem is with the run-of-the-mill, I don't feel well. I don't know what's wrong. I keep having acid reflux. I think the doctors just don't know what to do with it. Our pendulum is so far over into they're looking for dramatic, traumatic issues. But a lot of us suffer from just what we're eating, acid reflux, rosacea. Before I was diagnosed and I'm not celiac, I'm gluten sensitive. Before I was diagnosed, I went to a dermatologist because my skin was breaking out. He told me I had rosacea. I went to an ENT because I was having choking situations where if I ate certain things, all of a sudden my throat would literally close up and I could not eat or drink anything.
Wow.
And the pattern was building up where it was happening more and more. And he said, oh, you've got acid reflux. So he put me on the medication for that. Well, after 2 years, I finally read the back of the package, and it was like, I'd been taking this pill every day for 2 years. And it was like, you're only supposed to take this for a series of 90 days, one treatment for 90 days in a year. And it's like, well, okay, what are the side effects? Well, brittle bones. I'm a woman. That's not good.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started doing a little more research and ended up with a holistic practitioner. So the patient is also responsible for their health.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot, as an individual, I cannot go to a doctor and say, heal me, and not ask any questions, not do my own research,
mm-hmm.
not follow up, and not take myself seriously.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And believe if I'm not getting better, then I need to do something else. We have a responsibility to ourselves to think, listen, and act accordingly.
Very good.
So that's a biggie.
I like that. That's very, very good, Elsie. Excellent. And so, Todd, I know this is the first time you and Elsie are meeting. Have you gotten a chance to see Elsie's Facebook business page there on Elsie Trawick Wellness?
I have looked through it and know she's an animal lover.
That's true. Yeah, you read my mind, Todd. You knew exactly where I was going. Yep, she is. I've gotten to meet them. They're all really sweet. Do you want to share your family members, Elsie, the little critters?
My family, actually, my pit bull Fiona is laying right here, and my poodle Meg is right here too. They're in here with me. Fiona's
They're really
got her
sweet, Todd.
head propped on her dinosaur and looking out the sliding glass door to the backyard, and Meg is curled up in her little dog bed, waiting for me to get off this so they can go get a treat.
That's great.
And they eat gluten-free too, I'll have you know.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Great.
And Fiona, my pit bull, was just diagnosed with, she was starting to have a lot of problems and she was limping a lot. So I tried a couple of things and ended up getting x-rays of her pelvis and legs, back legs, and she's got severe arthritis in her knees.
Aww.
So she's on a, and the doctor was asking me about what she was eating. I said, well, she's on a grain-free diet.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor said, that's one of the best things you can do is keep grain out of her diet for arthritis. So I was like, yay!
Wow. Interesting.
Mama knew what she was doing after all.
Wow. And so she's walking okay now, like when you go for walks?
She's better. She's still got some, I just got some referrals for acupuncture. So I've got to call and talk to them and do my research on them. And but I'm going to try acupuncture with her, and then her chiropractor. Yes, my dog has a chiropractor.
Wow.
Recommended some other supplements. So I'm going to look at those, and then I've got some more questions for her, and then so it's all this question and answer, and then we decide on what to do.
Wow, that's very good. You're doing everything the right way, you know. You're taking care of. I didn't know you could do all that for pets.
Yeah,
Wow.
Fiona, my pit bull, has a a veterinarian, a physical therapist, and a chiropractor, and is soon to have an acupuncturist.
Wow. You're gonna have to let us know how that goes. The next one we have you on here, we'll have to do a follow-up.
I might start going to her veterinarian too and get all that.
That's tremendous, Elsie. Well, this past 30 minutes, it just flies by all the time with you, Elsie. Thank you so much. Before we let you go, can we ask you, please, can you give us your contact information and plug your Facebook page for everyone out there, too?
I sure will. Yeah. It's Elsie Trawick Wellness, and my home office is 404-315-7665, and you can also message me through my Facebook page, Elsie Trawick Wellness.
Perfect. And are you guys connected now on Facebook? You said you are friends, right? Elsie
yes,
and
we
Todd?
are.
Yeah.
We are? Okay, I'll have to go check.
Perfect.
I haven't been on Facebook in a while. I've had a lot of, I've been traveling a lot, and so I haven't, and when I travel, I don't look at Facebook, so I've got to get on there.
Perfect. Well, Elsie, let's have you back on here soon again, and again, we really enjoyed it, and keep us posted, too, about Fiona and the rest of the critters, too.
I will.
All right.
Well, have a great afternoon and happy holidays.
It's good talking to you.
Yes, happy holidays. Great talking to you. And as we fade to black folks, here comes Elsie Trawick's contact information one more time.